So let's talk about the Disney Gargoyles Winter Special. This was really a beautiful comic book, and of course, I picked it up on Wednesday at the comic book shop because I'm a dungeon master. And the reality is, right now, everything that is good and awesome and connecting itself to Dungeons and Dragons through Dungeons and Dragons canon is over at the comic book shop. So right now, Dungeons and Dragons has thoroughly connected itself to every DC character and every Marvel character through multiple routes, right? But they're not the only. And then of course, Marvel and Star Wars are deeply connected to Dungeons and Dragons. So does that branch out to us considering as dungeon masters and as dragon masters? Should we be extending that goodwill to Disney overall? I think yes. I think Disney has bent over backwards to connect virtually every intellectual property they have to Dungeons and Dragons, but there are a few that haven't been, and Gargoyles is one of those. So I'm a huge fan of Gargoyles. I just really think it's one of the best television shows that's ever been on. But they are doing an incredible line of of Disney Gargoyles comic books right now, and I know it's a lot to commit to a comic book series. There's actually uh, probably close to 20 Gargoyles comics out right now. And that'd be a lot to get into, but this is a great purchase as a dungeon master to connect yourself to the Gargoyles world and to be able to get to understand it and its narrative methods as a dungeon master. And as a dragon master, there's a lot here too. Of course, there's a lot of player characters within Gargoyles, right? So, but what I want to point you to on this specific Gargoyles comic is something that you should be thinking about in Dungeons and Dragons as a dungeon master. And so this entire comic book is about Bronx. So Bronx is Gargoyle's dog. So he is a gargoyle. He turns into a gargoyle at night and then he becomes alive. He turns into a gargoyle during the day and comes alive at night. But this entire adventure is his adventure in New York City. And because he is a dog and cannot speak, it it has no speech, right? So, it was a beautiful comic book. I really was blown away by this story. It was a super fast read because there's no words, right? But we should be thinking about this as dungeon masters. Can we run a session with no words? And it's kind of like a special episode of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So, how would you do this? Well, the easiest way would be that have a witch, stop the speech of each player character, right? And that can't be removed from them until later. And I think you'll find, just like this adventure, that it's unique, it's fresh, and it goes in different directions.